Welcome back to T. Shaw's Progressive Bluegrass. Thanks again for coming back for more. Really looking forward to continuing our IBMA themed season. Had Randy Steele last week, Randy Steele and the High Cold Wind, and Randy Steele solo. Had a great conversation and episode. And then just a couple of days later, we were talking about some edits and some dates and some things prior to the show being released, and had mentioned I was running a little behind, and we asked, came to a mutual conclusion. I'm like, hey, how about you come co-host a show? Let's do a show together and talk about all the music happening at the Bluegrass Ramble and the Bluegrass Showcases for IBMA, having an insider's perspective as well as me, the super fans, outsider's perspective, talking about the bands that we're excited about, talking about the bands that we haven't heard anything about but are really curious to see, and talking about all the conflicts, because boy howdy, there's going to be a lot of them. So this is a little bit longer than usual, this episode. I appreciate your patience. I'm going to jump right in, and here is my co-host T. Shaw's Progressive Bluegrass episode with Randy Steele. Hope you enjoy it. Super special opportunity today for Randy and I, Randy Steele, to get together and talk about the Bluegrass Ramble schedule and showcase for the upcoming IBMA. When he was on the episode last week, the schedule was not released yet. We had a lot of rumors, we had tentative schedules, but we couldn't discuss it yet because it wasn't set in place. So what we're going to do for you today, there's a lot going on at the Bluegrass Ramble. We're going to walk through each stage and talk about some of the bands that we're familiar with, some that we're excited to see. I did a little bit of research on the bands I wasn't familiar with, and just between the two of us, we hope to help you navigate your IBMA experience and make sure you see all the music that you want to see. Randy, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fantastic, man. I'm glad we can make this happen.
I'm so glad that it happened too. I'm excited. We got a great week coming up. We're 2 weeks away, and it's been a lot happening. So I'm excited, fired up.
It's going to be the best week of the year.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, I've talked a lot in the past. Obviously, the big stages, the Billy Strings, the stuff where you're sharing the music with 25,000 other people. My favorite part about Bluegrass is the smaller, more intimate gatherings, but where you could almost hear the musicians acoustically if we didn't have amplification available. And this is the part I think we're going to get most excited about. We're going to start with Banquet Hall E on Tuesday, September 16th, the first night of the Ramble. To launch things off at Banquet Hall E at the Convention Center, Carolyn Owens and New Company. I don't know too much about them. I did a little bit of YouTube research last night. Definitely a traditional outfit, heavily vocals. We've got a female vocalist. Carolyn is a female vocalist. Beautiful voice. Traditional banjo, guitar, mandolin, bass. Maybe a little gospel, some original material, but kind of a classic bluegrass sound. Randy, you know anything about them?
I've listened to Carolyn Owens before. I think Carolyn Owens is a great band. I have them. I think it's a great way to start the whole thing off. Tuesday afternoon at 6:30 with Carolyn Owens. I had on my list as that was one of my first pick. It's an easy one because it's starting everything off. But I don't know, just looking at the whole Banquet E hall going from top to bottom, I mean, if you hit Banquet E, and if you just stay in the exhibit hall, I mean, there's some monsters hidden there. It's hard even to consider, I mean, the fact that there's 5 other stages just besides those 2 that are all happening at the same time, man. I don't know how, I mean, you just have to reconcile that you're going to miss great music.
I'm having a hard time with that. There's
it's really difficult.
A lot of FOMO going on that we need to consider. So you've seen Carolyn before?
I have. I'm familiar from like her social media posts and stuff like that. I haven't seen her play live before, but I am familiar with who she is. And I don't know, like, again, she's in kind of easy pull for me to go see if you're in that exhibit hall. Nick Chandler and The Delivered is also a great band. That's the kind of competition of seeing them. But they're going to be at a great showcase on Thursday night. You should not miss. So you have a chance to see Nick Chandler later on.
And Nick Chandler is playing in the other convention hall, Exhibit Hall C, so right down the hallway.
Yeah.
You could see 10 minutes of each and bounce back and forth if you wanted to be bounced around.
That whole little setup right there at E, I mean, you talk about Special Consensus and then Woodbox Heroes right back to back. In any I mean, that's a great night of music in any like regular night I would go. That's a fantastic Friday night out. So it being how you start a Tuesday is just wild.
Well, and Special Consensus, a lot of my listeners, viewers today, they're familiar with Special Consensus. They've been around 50 years.
Yeah.
They are a juggernaut of established, mostly traditional bluegrass, but I mean, multi-award winning. I believe there's been 8 IBMA nominations for Special Consensus. Gil Cahill, did I say that right? The banjo player?
I'm not sure.
He's been inducted into the Spigma's Hall of Fame or Hall of Recognition. You can't go wrong with Special Consensus. They truly are a headlining band, and they're still kind of in the kickoff period of IBMA. Definitely a great band to see. And then Randy just mentioned Woodbox Heroes.
Yeah, well,
Unless you've got something to add about Special Consensus. I jumped right to Woodbox.
No, that's Woodbox Heroes is a great band. I have them in a couple places to trying to catch them because I definitely want to see them play. Matt Menafee is one of my favorite banjo players of all time. I loved Cadillac Sky back in the day, and so I'm really excited about seeing Matt Menafee play. And I've heard nothing but glowing things about Woodbox Heroes. They got a great band, Thomas, that band.
I'm new to Woodbox Heroes. I discovered them after Thomas Castle, alumni of T. Shaw's Progressive Bluegrass, is the mandolin player, and she's got amazing pipes. Just the voice of an angel. That's going to be a really neat band to watch. Definitely looking forward to it. I'd consider them an acoustic supergroup.
Yeah. I mean, Matt's amazing.
Country, bluegrass, blues, jazz, rock, classical varieties all kind of meshed together. There's a lot going on with Woodbox Heroes for sure. As you mentioned, Matt was originally Cadillac Sky, also has played with Mumford and Sons.
Oh, yeah.
Not really bluegrass, but certainly
if you follow, he's a great Instagram follow because he posts all kinds of, he is playing with cool people all the time. It's really neat. I'm glad to see, he's a great banjo player, so.
and Barry Bales played with Alison Krauss in Union Station, so there's quite a resume going on here. And of course, Thomas Castle on mandolin. He was formerly with Circus Number 9. He's done a lot of good solo work. I'm actually going to have him back as a guest in the very near future. So they're one I am not going to miss. That is for sure.
Oh, the great thing is, there's multiple chances to catch them. And there's one show they have that was a really cool one. I think it was on like at 10 o'clock at Barrel House Ballroom later on. Well, I'm sure we'll get there. So.
We'll get to it. Yeah, we're still on the first banquet hall stage. Remedy Tree. I wasn't familiar with Remedy Tree much until last night. I was doing some research, found some videos with them. They're signed with Mountain Fever Records. They've shared the stage with Peter Rowan, Steel Drivers, Ricky Skaggs, Rhonda Vincent, Della Mae. They were involved in the IBMA Ramble in 2023, so any attendees in 2023 may have come across them before. They're a Florida bluegrass band, and they're unique. Gabriel Acevedo.
Yeah, they just played the Woodshop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just played the Woodshop a couple weeks back.
Which is an awesome listening room in Chattanooga.
Yeah. Great band. Yeah, great venue to go see bluegrass for sure. Remedy Tree's a great band. I think they're one of those bands that's taken advantage of the Chattanooga situation because they've been here in town coming and trying to build a local following heading into IBMAs, knowing that, they're going to be here and going to be playing. So Remedy Tree shows will have some local Chattanooga people there too, which is a good move.
And they're from Florida, and Florida might as well be an island in the bluegrass world. It's not on the way to anywhere besides Florida. So them getting an opportunity to break out. Gabriel is actually originally from Puerto Rico, kind of brings a unique culture and sound to his music.
They're another one they're playing a couple times. So if you miss them one day, you can kind of be like, well, keep an eye out because they're coming around. They're playing a couple times this week.
Then that stage, George Jackson and Brad Colander. I believe I said that right. It's a fiddle and banjo duel, deeply rooted in old time with a modern bluegrass twist. Are you familiar with them at all?
I'm not.
Well, being a banjo guy.
I know, I'm terrible.
You might have to...
I got to check some stuff out. I did I went through this much more like a Sweet 16 bracket. And I was
Okay.
like, I'm going here and I'm going
Okay.
there.
Making your picks.
So some of these were like, I know for sure that I won't be able to be at this banquet hall at this time. So I didn't actually look too hard. I was like, okay, I know I won't be able to be there. So.
Well, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's why we've got the internet
Yeah,
and T-Shaw's Progressive Bluegrass.
I'm glad
right?
you did a more thorough. That's why you do this.
I'm very top heavy. I'll be honest with you. As we move throughout the evening, my research gets less and less. Yeah, once I realized, oh my gosh, it's after midnight. I got to wrap things up here, start to accelerate. I will say one more about George Jackson and Brad Colander. George was born in New Zealand as a respected fiddler.
Cool.
So he's got old-time bluegrass and, of course, just a fresh twist coming from a different culture. And then Brad is a clawhammer, primarily powerhouse. So very unique, especially in bluegrass. It's mostly Scruggs style. Definitely something really unique. Worth checking out if you get the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure.
Now we're moving on to, and Randy might be a little more familiar with, Tennessee Bluegrass Band. They're definitely a traditional band.
Just Lincoln. I know Lincoln. I followed him as a banjo player. He's a great banjo player. I know banjo players mostly, but
Well, there's a reason for that.
yeah. But Lincoln's a great banjo player. This is a great band. I'm glad to see that they're here.
Traditional bluegrass, classic traditional bluegrass.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would definitely say they're going to lean to a more traditional show.
Okay.
For sure.
And then after that, after the Tennessee Bluegrass Band, we're still on the same stage. We're still in Banquet Hall E through J. Mason Vi, singer-songwriter, guitarist, had just spent the last 3.5 years with Old Crow Medicine Show. A lot of you have probably heard of Old Crow.
Yeah.
A big-time band. And then towards the beginning of 2025, broke out on his own, has a self-titled Mason Vi album. And he is an amazing songwriter. Definitely not as traditional bluegrass as some you might expect, but definitely has a lot of bluegrass roots and some just outstanding songwriting.
Yeah.
Definitely worth checking out if that's your thing.
One of his songwriting partners, Charlie Chamberlain, is a good friend of mine. We were in Kerrville together. It's a songwriting thing. He's a great show. I'm so glad he's here. That dude is busy. I don't know if you've seen his schedule for the fall and winter, but he's putting some miles on the road for sure.
He is putting in his time.
Yeah, he is putting in the time.
Definitely bright future.
Yeah,
Definitely bright future.
Yeah.
And then at this point, this is probably a household name. Wyatt Ellis, mandolin extraordinaire. He just turned 16. This may be his first gig that he can drive himself to. He is, for his age, accomplished just unbelievable amount of prowess for his age. And not only is he going to be exciting to see now, he's going to be really exciting to see where he ends up. He's still in high school.
Yeah,
So
that's wild.
it is wild.
Yeah.
And he's played with everybody in the scene. He's played with Billy Strings. He's played with Ricky Skaggs. He's played with, I could check my notes, but he's got a resume that's, some people would be satisfied having that resume for an entire career, and he's done it before he's even graduated high school. So.
Yeah. He's definitely something special for sure. He's pretty amazing.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am too. And he's another one that he's on here a few times. So if you're like, oh no, I'm going to miss him here, don't sweat it.
You'll have other opportunities.
Yeah,
I think he's on the main stage too, is he not?
Yeah,
Do we
and
know?
he's at Barrel House too the next time.
Okay. We're not going to get to the main stage quite yet, but I believe he's playing in the festival on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
We'll confirm that. So that's it. That's the first stage. That's the first stage of 6, I think, in the Ramble. The first stage on the first night. So now we can move literally down the hallway to Exhibit Hall C. I believe we just talked about Nick Chandler, correct? So we've already, and delivered. We covered that. Following that, the Foreign Landers. Definitely traditional transatlantic folk duel. Very compelling. Mandolinist David Benedict grew up in South Carolina, but I believe his wife, Tabitha Agnew Benedict, started playing 5-string banjo in Northern Ireland. You can hear it. I definitely enjoy European bluegrass, especially Irish bluegrass with a little bit of Celtic.
It's called the International Bluegrass Music Association, So there's definitely international attractions they're going to be there throughout the whole week. This is another great one.
Are you familiar with them? Have you seen them before?
No, I've seen same kind of thing. Like I've only seen clips from stuff online, but I haven't actually seen them play.
Well, their first album was in 2022, The Traveler's Rest, and definitely exciting things coming for them. And like Randy said, international. You're definitely getting an international twist.
Yeah.
One of the things I've also noticed too, there's a very, very strong female contingent at IBMA this year, especially in the Ramble. Many bands, if not half the bands or majority of the bands, have female participants, female lead singers. Definitely seeing a change in dynamic in bluegrass that is, I'm going to say, stands out a little different.
Yeah. I hadn't really noticed that until you brought it up, but now that you say that, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
They actually met.
It's pretty great.
Before we move on, they actually met a chance meeting for the first time at the 2017 IBMA. So IBMA is responsible for the genesis of them. That's kind of cool, coming full circle at this point. And I believe they got married. So there you go. A love story, an IBMA love story. Going to just jump in really quick for a message from our sponsor.
1, 2. It's a big purchase, it's a big deal. Trevor Shaw knows exactly how you feel for refinance or a new home. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan.
Hello, I'm Trevor Shaw. I'm not just a bluegrass aficionado. I'm a bluegrass aficionado that's a mortgage loan officer at Chat Mortgage in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'd be honored for the opportunity to help you get your residential mortgage loan or refinance anywhere in Tennessee, Georgia, or Colorado. From veterans using their hard-earned benefits to first-time home buyers needing down payment assistance to retirees finally getting the home they've always dreamed of. Call or text me today at 864-50-T-SHAW. That's 864-50-T-SHAW.
It's a big purchase, it's a big deal. Trevor Shaw knows exactly how you feel for refinance or a new home. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan.
Chat Mortgage is powered by Almeida Mortgage Corporation, NMLS number 271603. Chat Mortgage is located at 6650 East Brainerd Road, Suite 208 in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Phone number 423-591-9801. Trevor Shaw, NMLS number 92938. All right, let's see.
This next one here, Michael Pruitt and Crunchgrass Supreme, and then right after them is Foggy Mountain Spaceship. They're doing back-to-backs a lot. If you see one, you see the next one pretty frequently.
With the name Crunchgrass Supreme, if I'm ever going to go see a band just based on the name, Crunchgrass is right up there. I don't think I've ever heard a Crunchgrass description before.
This is a band that I had never heard of. I hadn't heard of them at all until just a couple of weeks ago. And we were out in the middle of Polk County playing in some farm. And this guy was telling me about Crunchgrass Supreme. I was like, what? And then I started looking them up, man, they're great. They're really, really great. Unfortunately, I just looked up YouTube videos and looked up their social media, but I'm excited to see them. That's another great thing. They're playing multiple times, so there's a couple of times it would be cool to see them play. And that kind of leads into another amazing band name. After that, as Randy mentioned, Foggy Mountain Spaceship. Yeah, great name. It perfectly describes, I would almost call them a psychedelic jam bluegrass band. Oh, that's awesome. And they're the band that I would envision, and maybe they don't appreciate the stereotype, and maybe it's too new to even consider a stereotype. They're the band I want to see at 2 a.m. after partying at a festival, looking for that one last oomph at the end of the night. What I checked out on their YouTube page is exactly that. It's a psychedelic bluegrass jam. Now, I've seen you at 2 a.m. at the festivals. And you're usually looking for tacos. Well, sometimes I get a little enthusiastic at 2 a.m. too. This is a band that I can see myself getting a little enthusiastic. Now, their set time, at least on Tuesday night, is 8:30, so I probably won't be too wound up. And it's the first night of a long week of a festival, so probably going to take it a little easy on this one. But they're
They're unique, something I would enjoy checking out. Shortly after that, same stage, the Sentimental Gentleman. And,
yeah, this is another one I should have looked up. I've only seen stuff online.
The Sentimental Gentleman is Sierra Farrell's backing band.
Oh, cool.
Basically, it's Sierra Farrell without Sierra. They definitely have a modern twist, but they do a really, really cool bluegrass version of Eleanor Rigby.
Really?
Mixing in a little Beatles, a little classic Beatles.
That's cool.
Great band. I've seen them a couple times, actually. They got
Really?
some serious chops. Well, I'm drawing a blank on the mandolin player.
Are they on here more than... Were they just playing one show?
I believe they're playing 2 sets. I'm embarrassed that I'm drawing a blank on the... You totally know the mandolin player.
It's because you spend too much time at 2 a.m. running around.
That's right. I'm mad at myself. I'll come back. It'll pop in. Oh, well, this is going to get edited.
I don't see them on here anywhere.
I think they're on here twice. I'm almost certain. They might actually be on the main stage, too. Nuts. It's going to come to me, and I'll be like, oh, all right, whatever. Okay, so Sentimental Gentleman. Then we go into the Burnett Sisters Band. I'm not familiar with the Burnett Sisters Band. The very first video I clicked on was Black Mountain Rag. Flawlessly played, high energy, driving. Then did a second track, New River Train, also an instrumental. Great pickers. These guys are really, really good pickers. There's 3 women in the band. I assume all 3 are sisters. Great harmonies, unique sound. Definitely worth checking out. And then at 10:15 at the exhibit hall, Joshua Rilko. Joshua Rilko is the mandolin player for Sentimental Gentleman.
That's what you're trying to think of.
The light bulb finally went off. Gosh, I'm embarrassed. But now we move on to Greenwood Rye. Have you seen Greenwood Rye before?
Oh, man, yeah, we've had this discussion.
So, Greenwood Rye is fronted by Sean Spencer. Sean Spencer.
It's a great band.
Great band. Sean Spencer, he's been on a fellow alumni, T. Shaw's Progressive Bluegrass. He's been on here before. They are based out of Nashville. They're a really talented band with a mix of bluegrass, pop, even a little bit of alternative. But Sean's original songwriting, his original material is outstanding. Definitely bright things. But the whole band's incredibly talented. Banjo player Taylor Shuck. If you've ever been blown away like from a cannon by a banjo, Taylor's the one to do it.
Yeah.
He's got some just amazing 0 to 100 in a fraction of a second. Cat, their fiddle player, same thing, can absolutely shred a bow right in front of you. Not going to miss that one.
I wonder if I guess we could like kind of go through, because you kind of have Barrel House, Hi-Fi Clydes, and Songbirds are all in one area, and then Comedy Catch and Gate 11 are in the other area.
Well, we certainly can. Everything's within walking distance.
Very true.
And there's also a free shuttle running around. I would say now that we've left the convention hall, all the other venues that we're about to go into are all hop, skip, and jump.
They're all right next to each other.
Moving on to the Barrel House Ballroom stage. The band, The Often Heard. I'll be honest with you, I never heard of The Often Heard before last night when I was doing research. And it's Herd, H-E-R-D, spelled like a herd of animals, not H-E-A-R-D. But what a fun project. Of all my YouTube discoveries, this one jumped out the most for me. Really interesting, once again, kind of a Celtic background. Everything I listened to them right out of the gate. Can't wait to see them live.
Yeah.
Jumping in full steam ahead for these guys.
Yeah, I have them as one of my don't miss acts. Because I did the same thing you did. I looked them up last night and I was like, whoa, that was pretty neat.
Yeah, definitely kind of a Railroad Earth sound. I don't know. They're unique.
Yeah.
One of a kind. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them. 4-piece banjo, some dobro. It seemed like they had some studio musicians that's not in their live group.
Yeah.
Four-piece band, also from UK. Another international. Yeah, apparently I like bluegrass bands from across the pond. This was one where I got so lost in the YouTube videos. I was having so much fun. where I caught myself, oh my gosh, it's 11 o'clock at night at this point, and I still have 2/3 of the bands to research. I got to stop watching their videos. That's how much I was impressed by them. So don't know, being from UK, how many opportunities you're going to get to see them in the United States this side. So I would not miss an opportunity to see them if you like even a little bit about what I'm talking about. But certainly hop online, do some research for yourself. If that's your sound, they're really good. Moving on from that, at the Barrel House Ballroom, 8 o'clock, we've got Vicky Vaughn's band.
Vicky Vaughn.
And Vicky's been a Nashville native for quite some time. I originally know Vicky from Della Mae, an all-female bluegrass band, another bluegrass musician. I have seen Vicky Vaughn's band one time, but it was before even it was a band.
Yeah.
I think it was just a side project where there was an opening and
like a D's or something like that.
Actually at the PPPP Picking Palace in Cleveland, Mark Pastrang's house show concert.
Those dudes are dialed in.
Yeah, it was she's got great voice. Rare to have a bass player as a lead vocalist. So it's, I mean, they exist, but oftentimes the bass player is kind of in the back of the stage. So having a bass player vocalist front stage, unique sound, fun stuff.
Yeah. There's another one on here, Missy. She's a great bass player that leads from the front. Yeah.
They do exist, but they're not all that common.
John,
All right, never mind. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but
I'm just kidding with you, man.
Yeah, I've seen her one time. She's definitely a lot of fun and worth looking into.
I can't wait to see Vicky Vaughn play. Again, she's playing. I've heard great things about this band. It's another one that I've seen really more on social media posts than anything else. And the live stuff that they've been putting out, really, really cool. She's another one that she's playing a few times. So if you miss one, don't be distraught. But that being said, Barrel House Ballroom is really probably one of my favorite venues in this whole Ramble setup to see people play. I mean, really, there's not a bad venue here, but
I'll second Barrel House Ballroom. When it came to Chattanooga, in my opinion, it's the perfect venue for Chattanooga in that it's about a 500-person capacity. So it's big enough to handle some relatively large names, but usually you still have space to breathe.
Yeah, and you're right.
It's an intimate environment.
It is
still.
An intimate
Right. There's no bad place to be inside there.
Yeah, they've got great
easy to make
stage.
it to the restrooms. The beer lines are always fast.
Yeah.
And what I like too about the concessions at Barrel House is they are in the main music venue. You don't have to leave the venue to go into the lobby to buy a beverage. You still get to be part of the concert and participating. And even the restrooms, the way they're situated, you're not really missing the show when you have to go address whatever.
A really well thought out place. Their stage is really great. They have a great screen behind it. There's a bunch of bands that are going to be in cool places, but watching that specific band at Barrel House is going to be cool. We'll get there to who they are later on. But I'm excited for light shows and stuff like that to happen on that big screen behind everybody. It's going to be cool.
And we mentioned it last week. For those of you who heard last week, Randy hosts a Bluegrass Jam there every Tuesday.
Yeah. It's home. It's a home game for me to go to Barrel House, so that's kind of easy pick for me. But yeah, we do a Bluegrass Jam every Tuesday, 6 to 9 p.m. If you're ever in Chattanooga and you want to come pick Bluegrass with us, come hang out. All right, Darren and Brooke Aldridge. Were you familiar until last night?
Yes, but only slightly. I encountered them at, I think it was Naperville Bluegrass Fest several years ago with my father.
They did a pop-in at Spigma this year that was awesome. I love Darren and Brooke Aldridge. I'm excited to see them play again. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about that. Great Bluegrass, it's right down the middle. Yeah.
The very first video that popped up when I was researching last night was a co-sit-in with Ricky Skaggs.
Yeah.
So if that's not an endorsement, if Ricky Skaggs will do a video with you, you're probably a pretty talented group of musicians.
Both of them are talented. Yeah. Hands down.
Yeah, they're going to be awesome.
Darren Aldridge was awesome.
And now we bounce back to Woodbox Heroes.
So this is one of the things
close out Barrel House.
I'm talking about. Like, this is one of the great things about it. I think Woodbox Heroes at Barrel House is going to be an awesome show. It's just, man, there's just so much going on.
So much going on.
It's going to be hard to get there.
Which is a great problem to have, but it's still a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Woodbox Heroes. I think I'm going to have to see their earlier set And then
think I'm going to have to.
I'm going to end up missing their late night set. Well, 10 o'clock isn't really late night, but maybe it is on a Tuesday. But yeah, I think I'll end up running back to Greenwood Rye at the exhibition hall and miss their 10 o'clock, but I'll see them at the exhibition hall on the earlier set. So
yeah. That's going to be a fun show. I'll be getting there. I'm going to try to get there. That's going to be my Tuesday night post game is my hope to get there to see Woodbox Heroes play.
Well, you probably will be able to. We're coming up on the next schedule that is a hop, skip, and jump where we move from the Barrel House Ballroom to the Comedy Catch. And the Comedy Catch, they start off with a band called Under the Rocks. But the Comedy Catch has been converted to a bluegrass venue for the entire week. I've never actually seen a show there, so I'm kind of excited about that, to see what they've done with it.
I think one cool thing about it, I bumped into a stage like this at a different festival one time. I loved it, so I'm really, really excited to see, not just because we're playing on it, but to see some of the bands that are coming to the Comedy Catch stage. It's going to be cool. They're re-outfitting the stage for music, because right now it's basically just set up for stand-up. So they're re-outfitting the stage for music. That's one of the projects that's going on this week.
That's pretty exciting. Did a little bit of research on them last night. First song I came across was called I Left. Features a crescendo of energy, a build up to the end. Thoroughly enjoyed what I saw. Skipped ahead another instrumental, Bound for Glory, totally different dynamic. And then I tried one more song, Honest Try, which was a much slower, definitely they've got fast and slow, probably the best parts of everything sort of mixed in. So I think they're going to be a fun band to check out.
Canadian band.
Another Canadian band, international. So following up with that is a band that I was not familiar with before last night called Backline. Another female vocalist. And, well, I'm a car guy. The first video that I found, she jumped into a second generation Camaro. So had my attention right out of the gate. I'm like, all right. It was actually, the whole video was muscle cars, classic muscle cars. But right out of the gate, I got hooked. I'm like, I got to check this out. Multiple vocalists, both male and female, in the band. And he had mentioned the classic Jeep analogy last week about, hey, if you learn to play fiddle, you can get away with anything after that.
Yeah.
There was also a classic Jeep in it. So it just kind of it was a car guy video.
Yeah, I'm excited to see them. I will see them for obvious reasons because we're playing right after them.
Yeah, Randy Steele and the High Cold Wind comes up after them.
Yeah, we were really excited to get a IBMA Showcase. I've been trying for a few years. So we're excited. We've been fired up. We've been practicing like crazy. Get ready.
That's going to be an awesome show.
Yeah.
And that's your first performance at, no, you actually have a show that's not associated earlier in the day. You've got Noon Tunes.
We're doing Noon Tunes, which is a Chattanooga show. That'll be at Middle Plaza where the Friday, Saturday shows are. We'll be there at 12 o'clock at noon. And then we're coming back here. We have 2 official showcases, and this is one of ours. Tyler Martelli will be playing guitar with us on this one.
Awesome.
He's only available in the first part of the week because he has to go on, he's on tour with Monrovia, so he has to fly to like New Mexico or something like that.
Life of a musician?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited because he's going to get to be that one. I'm really excited to play the Comedy Catch just because it's going to be the venue that it's going to be. It's going to be dark and quiet, and I got all these jokes I'm ready to try out.
Banjo jokes?
all banjo jokes.
There'll be a whole set of banjo jokes. It'll be great. Mm-hmm. No, we're definitely going to come to there. I'm bringing a couple good friends from Portland, and we're going to try and squeeze in that show. Like I said, as you mentioned, the Comedy Catch is going to be great sound.
Yeah.
Very intimate. One of my favorite parts of Bluegrass. So we'll definitely, and I believe I'm going to be coming right from, I don't know where I'm coming from on that one. We'll have to figure that out. That's the Comedy Catch stage. So that's 9 to 10. That's that?
That's 9 to 10, yeah.
And you've heard me talk about Randy Steele and High Cold Wind before. Don't miss them. All right. Moving on to Gate 11 Distillery. This one opens up with Greenwood Rye again, who we've already spoken about. Another perfect example of if you miss them one time, you can catch them the next time. I will probably miss this one, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But Greenwood Rye is, as I mentioned, great band to check out.
That's a Also, another really cool venue I'm excited to see.
I've never been there. So that's in the Chattanooga Choo Choo?
Man, dude, I'd only been there a couple times. They have some jams and stuff, but it's almost like all electric jams, like jazz and stuff like that, blues jams. So I hadn't had a chance to really go. But John and I got hired to be extras in a commercial.
John Boulware? Okay.
So, and that was the setting, was at Gate 11, just not too long ago. So me and John were out there playing banjo and fiddle, like looking country bumpkins in the background while they did their thing or whatever, for some airplane TV show.
Really?
Yeah.
That was being filmed in Chattanooga?
That was being filmed in Chattanooga.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll say all that to say this. That stage is really cool. And the way their whole setup has a big open area to the outside of the Choo Choo. So you can like hang out in the outside of the Choo Choo while you're listening to Greenwood Rye, which is be a great band to see that way.
We'll definitely have to check it out. Mike Mitchell Band is next. Now, I'm not familiar with Mike Mitchell Band, not before last night. The very first video I pulled up with him, though, Calling Me, was filmed in Floyd Fest 21. And what really jumped out at me, since we're talking banjos, Trey Wellington was sitting in on banjo that night. So,
that's cool.
Some of you may know Trey Wellington is a banjo extraordinaire.
Fantastic banjo player.
Yeah, he's really something special. Now, he's not in the band, so he won't be, as far as I know, he won't be at IBMA, but maybe. Classic bluegrass, strong vocal focus. I had that bluegrass nasally sound, the vocals that you know, is so almost stereotyped with bluegrass, but
sung from the heart through the nose.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think they're going to be worth looking into. The mandolin player would win Facial Hair of the Year award. He's got a ZZ Top-like beard, very impressive. They're from Montreal, also from Canada, and I think
the next band's from Canada too.
They had. Are we still on? We're still on. All right. Yeah. I think we're still on Mike Mitchell. They actually sang some of their songs. I believe it was French. I'm not being from Montreal, which is half English speaking, half French speaking area. I believe they also sang some songs. I'm assuming in French. It was definitely a foreign language. I didn't understand the words, and being from Montreal, you know what happens when you assume, but I think I can get away with this one. So kind of a unique take on bluegrass.
Yeah.
After that, we've got Veranda.
Another Canadian band.
Another Canadian band?
Yeah, Montreal band.
I may have skipped my notes and forgot to title it, and I may have been explaining to you Veranda. Oops.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, they can't have two back-to-back bands from Montreal. No
Surely
way.
they can, man. They can do whatever they want. International Bluegrass Music Association. International. What is it with you and borders? You gotta lose that, man. It's just cool. It's cool, man.
Yeah, I think I was just describing Veranda.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure that I incorrectly attached that to Mike Mitchell Band, and my notes just didn't have the title.
That's why I was kind of throwing that out there. That this band's from Canada.
Yeah,
too.
French Celtic sound.
Yeah.
You Can Run was one of the songs I discovered last night. A little jazzy, very unique, very interesting.
That's a great place to, like I said, well, we already talked about it, but Gate 11 would be a cool place to catch any band, especially like a small acoustic duo band like that would be cool. Be a fun spot.
And that wraps up Tuesday at Gate 11.
Yeah.
Then we move on to Hi-Fi Clydes. And Hi-Fi Clydes, the opening band for Hi-Fi Clydes, this is one of the ones I'm most excited about on the Ramble, the Unfaithful Servants. They're from Canada. They're from Vancouver, actually.
Yeah.
Another international band. But the reason I'm most excited, it's the first time I'm seeing the Unfaithful Servants. I've been familiar with the Unfaithful Servants for at least 10 years. Never had a chance to see them. They primarily tour regionally to Vancouver. So they might make it down to Seattle, Portland, but they don't do a lot of travel tours. But the mandolin player is Jesse Cobb, formerly of the infamous String Dusters. And I was very lucky to discover Infamous String Dusters right at the beginning, early on. And I've had a bad habit when I listen to older recordings. I don't know if I've ever told you this story. Almost any time I'm listening to an older archived recording or an older Duster recording, and Jesse breaks into a break, and it's almost unexpected because he's been gone 14 years. It's been a while. And so when I hear some of the old vintage recordings, I hear Jesse Cobb, I can't help but yell out, Jesse Cobb! So I haven't seen Jesse in The Unfaithful Servants. I've seen him a handful of times in the last 10, 12 years, but I'm going to be glued to it.
You're going to have your mouth full then on this show because he's going to be all over it.
He's going to be doing some breaks.
Going to be man playing everywhere.
Have you ever seen any of their stuff or checked them out at all?
I haven't seen Unfaithful Servants. We played with the infamous String Dusters when Jesse Cobb was still in the band. And so I met him in Chattanooga.
Yep.
A long, long time ago.
Really don't know much about the band outside of Jesse. So, but that's enough for me to get me sucked in. I'm excited. What little I checked out video-wise, it sounded a little Punch Brothers like.
That's cool.
Kind of a unique, not traditional sounding, but definitely bluegrass. And maybe a Punch Brothers association is doing them a disservice. But I would definitely a unique sound.
I got you.
Unique sound. So moving on from that, and one of the things I've talked about so many times, and we've already talked about a little bit on this episode, bluegrass is an endless wormhole of discovery.
Yeah, for sure.
Majority of the bands that are on the main stage at the festival Friday and Saturday, most of us have probably come across before. But this is such a neat opportunity to discover the nugget, discover the gem, discover the up and coming. You never know who the next bluegrass superstar is going to be, and an opportunity to see these bands before they explode in a comedy catch, in a listening room, or at Gate 11 Distillery. At any point, you could be discovering the next Billy Strings, and you're going to look back at this and be like, man, remember when we saw them play in front of 75 people, and nobody knew who they were, and now, they got lines out the door for hours before showtime. I mean, it's just...
You think Faux Pas is going to be that way?
Well, I don't know.
Because they're a pretty interesting band. I mean, it's a pretty interesting setup.
Well, they immediately grabbed me because they had the Irish. They're from Ireland, I believe.
Yeah.
And they had that Irish Celtic twist to bluegrass. And one of my favorite bluegrass bands that's no more, if you can call them bluegrass, We Banjo 3.
Yeah, I remember that.
I guess they're Irish, English, maybe a combination of both. But I'm excited to see Faux Pas. And I noticed they've got 2 banjos, clawhammer style. So that's a little different for bluegrass. Yeah. They grabbed me as an Irish bluegrass band, had some fiddle, had clawhammer. They had a saxophone in a couple of their songs.
I saw the same thing, yeah.
And then they went into a couple slow ballad type songs as well. I prefer the high energy bluegrass, but they definitely gave me enough to be intrigued.
That's cool. It should be a fun place. It'll be a fun show for sure. Hi-Fi Clyde's is a great place to watch kind of a lively, fun band.
They also have really good food.
Yeah.
If you're looking they're probably going to be serving food, I assume, the entire time. They usually do. So it's a good opportunity if you're looking to eat and catch some bluegrass. Hi-Fi Clyde's is going to be a good option for that.
Yeah. And that next band, Seth Mulder, is a great band. They're high energy, straight down the middle of the road bluegrass band.
Seth Mulder and Midnight Run?
Yeah. Great band.
The very first song I YouTubed them last night was Johnny Be Good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, right out of the gate, we're blazing.
Yeah. They just got a new banjo player, from my understanding, and it's the banjo player from John used to play with him in a band called Edgar Loudermilk's band. Mm-hmm. And I saw him play a couple times, and he is a beast. He's a beast. So I'm pretty excited to see him play.
And I get a kick
I like Seth Mulder too. Seth Mulder's great, fantastic mandolin player. So.
Well, and they were wearing suits. I always get a kick out of that, kind of that traditional, Bill Monroe-esque era, but they were fast-ass bluegrass in a traditional anchored style.
And Hi-Fi Clyde's, that'll be a lot of fun.
And well-dressed. Sharp-dressed men, for sure. So, they're going to be a lot of fun. We're almost through Tuesday. We're getting down to, so that's the wrap-up on Hi-Fi Clyde's.
Yeah, that's Hi-Fi Clyde's.
We're still on Tuesday the 16th. And now we're moving to the last of Tuesday's schedule at Songbirds. Songbirds on Main Street, once again, just not even a full block from Hi-Fi Clyde's, maybe a block from Gate 11. All these venues are all right there with each other, with the exception of the exhibit halls. And even the exhibit halls are only maybe a 5-minute, 8-minute walk, worst case.
Really, Hi-Fi Clyde, Songbirds, and Barrel House, you share the same parking lot. I mean, that's how close they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
You literally could go visit another one mid-song and make it back before the song's open.
For sure, yeah.
It's cool that way this is working out in Chattanooga. So, moving on to Songbirds at 7 o'clock, there's a band called Jackson Howlow, another female vocalist, very traditional, at least what I discovered last night. At this point, it was probably well after midnight when I'm doing my research last night. So my research was dwindling. So heavily female vocalist and very traditional. I don't know. I didn't do any more research to speak intelligently beyond that.
It's getting late. You gotta do what you can do.
Moving on from that, at Songbirds, we've got Sullivan Sisters.
I had them down for once. I'm trying to remember what it was.
First song I pulled up, Theme Time, all picking, very fast, a lot of fun. Then went into my second pick for them, El Cumbanchero.
El Cumbanchero, yeah.
A fast-ass instrumental.
Yeah, that's a great metal song.
With electric bass, so that wasn't original. That you're familiar with that song?
Yeah.
Fast-ass instrumental.
Yeah, they're Wood Songs. That's what it was.
Okay.
Wood Songs Old Time Radio Hour. They're Wood Songs. They're Wood Songs kids. Yeah, which, I don't know if you've ever watched that before. Wood Songs, it's in Kentucky. It's a great radio program that they put on.
I'm not that familiar with it.
Great bluegrass, stuff like that. They were on, I think, the week before, the week after me one time. I got on to them. But they're another one that's here a couple times. Because there was one of them that I was like, yeah, that'd be a great time to catch them play, but I can't remember where. Maybe it was at Songbirds, because Songbirds is another great venue. Songbirds is kind of like a half museum, it's like a large rectangle room kind of, so it's really neat. There's kind of the same setup where there's like a front of the stage and a side of the stage. You know, like that's kind of all there really is there. It's a great intimate venue. It's so easy to walk to, and they have a couple of Dolly Parton suits in there, so you can.
There's some really cool
see if you fit in
memorabilia, bluegrass and some vintage guitars,
a bunch of that stuff,
mandolins, and.
So that would be a great. That'll be a great place to catch any show. But Sullivan Sister show, the banjo player is unreal. 9 o'clock. Are you familiar with Mark Schatz?
I am familiar with Mark Schatz.
Yeah.
But Mark Schatz and Brian McDowell, I've never viewed them. Of course, the history of Mark Schatz and bluegrass.
Yeah. Legendary bluegrass.
I bet he's won multiple Grammys. I don't know for a fact, but I mean, if there's an award to be won, I bet he's been attached to it somehow.
And coolest hat in bluegrass for a few years. You know, like if you haven't said Google Mark Schatz hat,
I think it's safe to say he's a legend.
Legend, yeah.
Unfortunately, you're playing against him.
Yeah, I know.
So you won't see him.
So I won't get to see him.
At least not that sad.
Yeah. But to be honest, I think I've seen Mark Schatz play 8 times, probably 8 or 9 times. In different outfits.
You've probably seen High Cold Wind a few more times.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Brian McDowell, seems like a singer-songwriter. I really couldn't listen to some of his stuff, but I didn't really have much chance to dive in deep. Did you?
At this point, it was after midnight last night. So I was, and we
Sorry,
are
Brian.
just now wrapping up day 1, Tuesday.
Yeah. And we didn't even mention the fact there's a Billy Strings, Brian Sutton show going on in Royal South with multiple guests, I'm assuming. And yeah, I mean, there's so much happening just on.
I was incredibly lucky to score tickets to that. And that was before any of the Ramble was out, any of the music was out. And I'm sure a lot of my listeners are going to be like, are you crazy? I sold those tickets because I'm going to the Ramble. There was just too much that I wasn't going to get a chance to see again. And got to choose your battles. Yeah. I've seen Billy and Brian before. There's bands here I haven't seen. I've got to choose my battles. And that wraps up night 1.
I don't know what we're going to do.
That's night 1. Night 2.
That's only the shows. That's not even.
That's just the Ramble, night 1.
Yeah. That's not even the
keynote speech earlier that day.
Yeah. Or
the trade
stuff
show
happening in the trade show, or the stuff happening in the hotel rooms. All the random showcases popping up and stuff.
Yeah, that's 4 hours of night 1.
That's wild.
I'd be amazing saying.
Yeah.
Many people joke. It's short for I've been mostly awake. Because if you're sleeping, you're missing out on something. But night 2, Wednesday, September 17th, happens to be my birthday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's going to be my birthday.
Nice.
I'm throwing a party. You should come.
35?
Whatever. No, we're I'm throwing a party, and 45,000 of my favorite bluegrass friends are attending. I appreciate that. That's very considerate of you. But Wednesday, we're going back to the trade show, Convention Center. Once again, we're stacked. I am going to Billy Strings Wednesday night. So I'm already figured for my birthday party, if I can have Billy play my birthday, you got to do it.
Yeah, can I tell you something? I'm going to Billy Strings on Wednesday night too.
Well, it's my party.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
that'll be great.
One thing to jump into real quick before we start talking about Wednesday night Ramble is the Blue Ridge Music Camp that's happening at Chattanooga Whiskey on Wednesday that starts at 5 o'clock. And that is Bela Fleck, Brian Sutton, and Casey Dreesen from 5 to 8 o'clock doing their bluegrass. They all do Blue Ridge music camps. They do. Bela does a banjo, and Casey Dreesen does a fiddle, and Brian Sutton has a great flat picking guitar one. So this is them all together.
Now, that's not quite walking distance.
That's not walking distance. Okay, it's at Chattanooga Whiskey, which is an event space. And yeah, you're probably going to have to catch a shuttle to that or try to catch a dry ride or drive over that way. But that will be cool.
There's a good chance I'm going to be. Now, that's not technically involved with IBMA. That's just one of the subsidiaries.
Just trying to be
the complete resource.
A good
complete
host.
Resource. Yes.
Everything, you know.
There's a good chance I'm going to that.
It looks unreal.
That's a pretty good pre-party to Billy.
Pretty good pre-party. I agree.
I'm really glad you brought that up because I did not have it on my notes. But going back to the banquet hall, Wednesday night, the 17th, the Often Heard. I've already talked about them. A little bummed I'm going to miss that. It's those guys are definitely somebody that intrigues me and will jump all over. Hillary Klug. This is, did I say that right? Is it Klug?
I don't know, to be honest. Klug, I don't really know.
Klug.
I'm familiar with her.
But you know who she is.
Yeah, from Instagram. And
yeah.
John knows her because John Boulware and her they did fiddle contests together when they were kids. So I met her at Spigma a few years back, a long time before she was really doing all the, like the dancing and stuff she's doing now. But she's really exploded, and she's a great fiddle player, great dance. Being able to play fiddle and dance like that and do all that stuff is...
You've all seen her, even if you don't know it. She is a
her.
clogger. She does some outstanding clogging, and she can fiddle with the best of them simultaneously. I don't know anybody else in the scene that clogs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of a kind.
Yeah. She's got a cool setup, cool thing going on for sure.
She's a fantastic fiddler.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed. I'm going to miss that.
Well, I think she's another one that she's somewhere else. I remember seeing her a couple of times. Oh, I think it's right after that. But yeah, she'll be good to see. I bet you that you'll be able to catch her jamming around because it's big known to just jam around. So I'm assuming she's going to be a jammer here too.
This one's going to be a little faster just because we covered a lot of these bands, duplicates from Tuesday night. After Hillary, we go to South Mulder and Midnight Run, which we've already discussed. The Faux Pas, which we've already discussed. With Mark Schatz and Brian McDowell, that we've already discussed. And then Mountain Grass Unit.
Yeah.
Now, Mountain Grass Unit, anybody who's been listening to my show for a while know I've talked about Mountain Grass Unit early on in T. Shaw's Progressive Bluegrass. Luke Black, the guitarist, is
a beast, man.
The fact that the fire marshal doesn't shut them down when they play is shocking to me.
Yeah.
Because he literally, the term fire is overused, I think, in bluegrass. But it really, you could give that term to Billy, and you can give that term to Mountain Grass Unit.
I think Mountain Grass Unit's a fantastic band. I'm really, really excited. Not only for just to have them here in town. They're another band that's put in effort into Chattanooga and come here to try to play. But they are playing multiple times. They're going to be busy boys during IBMA.
Well, and they have grown so fast.
That's another thing too, man. It's going to be, I think it's like there's one of these shows coming up that we'll talk about here in a minute that's like, I don't know how that's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think there's going to be enough people who are coming. There's going to be people who are coming to IBMA just to see Mountain Grass.
Absolutely.
And they're going to follow them to every single thing they go.
Yeah, they are. I've described them in the past as Billy Grass, which, I think actually does do justice. They are a real heavy jam. When Josiah Nelson joined them on fiddle, I felt like that was the missing cornerstone to really seal the deal.
They're a great band.
And they just graduated college. 3 of them just graduated college this summer. They only are now a full-time band.
Yeah.
If you're likely familiar with them by now, but if you're not, they're probably one of those bands that we talked about that, remember when we saw them at IBMA?
Well, I think this is the same thing, honestly. Like, I think if they were booking IBMA right now, they wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
They've outgrown IBMA already.
Well, it's this part of what they're in. So, like, it's going to be interesting to see them in some of these places. I think the Banquet Hall E is going to be cool.
That's going to be one of the shows people go back and be like, remember we saw them at a banquet hall?
Yeah. Yeah. But if you look later on during that day, well, I guess we'll talk when we get there. But
Veranda's got to follow them up. I feel a little sorry for them.
And Backline.
And then Backline. I'm not that familiar with Backline.
That's the same thing. They're not opening. They're playing the same Tuesday that we're playing in the same spot.
Okay.
So they're playing right before us. I did some research on them. They're great. You got a fantastic singer.
That's still the banquet hall. That closes out the first stage Wednesday night.
Yeah. I think you got the same thing in this second stage, though, because we kind of talked about almost everybody here except for, I think we did talk about
we did Darren and Brooke Aldridge, Sullivan Sisters, Mike Mitchell Band, Jackson Hollow, Unfaithful Servants, Under the Rocks, and Vicky Vaughn. So that covers the exhibit hall stages. And then
that's going to be, the exhibit hall is going to be banging on Wednesday night. I mean, not everybody's going to be able to get into Billy Strings. And so there's going to be a ton of people there at every one of these things, I think. I really do think it's going to be pretty rad.
I think it's safe to say, at least for majority of my listeners, normally if you're in Billy Strings, you feel like you're winning.
Yeah.
But this is one of the few nights where even if you got shut out of Billy, which a lot of people did, the talent you're getting within a hop, skip, and jump, I have a feeling that both in and out of the Billy crowd is going to have FOMO for the other situation. I know I'm going to be wishing I could be in 2 places at once. It's going to be awesome.
All right. Barrel House.
Back to Barrel House, Burnett Sisters Band. Did we cover them already?
We did.
Yes. There's 3 female vocalists and a guitarist.
That whole, again, this is a great way. Wyatt, Special Consensus, Hillary, all of them. All of those at Barrel House Ballroom on any given night would be amazing. The fact you can
they'd all be headliners by themselves.
Of them in one night is wild, and the fact that it's like, I'm gonna miss it. It's like purposefully I'm gonna go see something else. It's crazy. I don't know what I don't.
Yeah.
It's wild.
From 7 till probably 11 at night. You don't even have to leave that one venue, and
you've
got
it's fantastic.
An amazing lifetime memory from one stage.
So all of those shows will be great if you're looking for something to go on Wednesday night. Barrel House Ballroom is a fantastic venue, again, like we said. So I think from 7 to 10 over there is pretty solid. Now
we're back to the comedy catch.
Now this is what I was talking about. Because what we were talking about earlier on Tuesday, you see Foggy Mountain Spaceship and Michael Pruitt and Crunchgrass Supreme back to back again.
Back to back.
With Mountain Grass Unit starting. Now, how are they going
to follow that?
How are they going to get people? How are they going to get in the door? Dude?
How are they think it's 100 people tops?
It's less than that. It's got to be like an 80-person room.
Yeah,
maybe it's 100. Maybe it's
100.
Let's say it's 100.
But nobody's going to want to leave. If they're there, they're not giving up their seats.
Well, so that's it. Let's say you do get shut out of Billy Strings.
Go to the comedy
catch. Go right over to the comedy catch, if you're looking for that. I think the other thing, too, is, there's a lot of crisscross during time between these bands, and it's a very short walking distance from the Signal to the comedy catch. It's a football field and a half, basically, to walk from one to the other. Not only for the listeners, but for the musicians themselves.
Do you know if Main Street's going to be shut down, like market for the festival? Or is it going to be, are you going to have to look both ways before you cross the street?
Well, I'm talking about coming from Comedy Catch to the Signal, which is all within the Choo Choo.
Okay.
So as far as Main Street in front of Barrel House, I really don't know. Probably not going to be shut down, I would imagine.
Okay.
I would imagine that road's
So look both ways.
Stay open. But I actually don't know, so don't quote that. So yeah, the Comedy Catch from 7 to 9. If you ever, I mean, like, that would be a fantastic night, you know?
A lifetime memory night.
You'll be like, you're not going to believe. So, again, I don't know, man. Maybe if you get kicked out of Billy Strings or if you miss, this is to be a great thing. I also kind of think, I mean, it's just conspiracy, Randy, but like, I could see Mountain Grass Unit playing, walking straight over to the Signal, doing a sit-in, or, I mean, there's a lot of these things that are ending.
That could absolutely happen.
Yeah.
Mountain Grass kind of filled in for Billy at his own renewal festival when Billy had to fly home when his wife was having their first child.
Yeah. I mean, they've played together before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, say you're sitting there and set break happens and Billy Strings walks in and sits in with Foggy Mountain Spaceship or something like that, and you sit there with 80 people and watch it happen. I mean, that would be amazing.
It's entirely possible.
It's completely possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Yeah, they have each other's phone numbers.
That's right. But that's jam conspiracy going on. But like when I started looking at schedules, or when we were looking at it, I was looking at it this afternoon. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and Billy, I'm sure, he's graduated to rock star status, but he's still a fan at heart. He loves the jams. He loves the picking circles. He's going to be as much involved that you can be for these exact.
Yeah.
He gets off on this type of stuff.
So, I don't know. IBMA, that was rude. That's all I'm saying. That from 7 to 9, that setup was rude. You could have done that at like 3 in the afternoon. It would have been way cooler of you.
Well, maybe next year.
Yeah.
We'll get some feedback.
Again, you look at
fill out the comment card.
Again, you look at the members of those bands, and you think about 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, how much time there is.
Well, and Billy doesn't start until 7:30.
And I mean, think about it. You got Bela Fleck, Brian Sutton, Casey Dreesen sitting right there in Chattanooga Whiskey,
who are also personal friends with Billy.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen? It's going to be interesting to see.
You want to be at IBMA, no matter what.
These are all great problems to have. I mean, it's an unreal setup, and we're for real just talking about Wednesday.
This is just Wednesday.
Talking about the main stages, or we're just talking about
Wednesday.
Me and the cool people.
We're talking about Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's practice. We're talking about Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's hump day. All right. Well, yeah. So the Comedy Catch, that's some place to be Wednesday night. Then going back to Gate 11 Distillery.
The first two we've talked about, Four Landers and Tennessee Bluegrass Band. Amy Alvey we haven't. She's a great fiddle player, and she plays in. She's living in Nashville now, and she's played the Woodshop a couple times. I met her. She's another Curveville person, I believe. I think that's how we met. But she plays in a folk duo too, and I'm pretty sure I'm excited. I'm excited to see this whole thing. I'm pretty sure this is the same thing I'm thinking that it is, the videos that I've seen. But I'm excited that she's coming to town and that she's going to be here at IBMA. I think you really only have one shot to see her, and that's Wednesday night at 9 at Gate 11. Again, great venue to see a place, and that'll be a great show to see.
Back to Hi-Fi Clyde's. 7 o'clock Remedy Tree we've talked about.
Oh, there's a Sentimental Gentleman. There they are again.
Man,
look at that setup right there. Remedy Tree, Amanda Cook, and then Sentimental Gentleman. That's a fantastic, at Hi-Fi Clyde's. That would be a fantastic night at Hi-Fi Clyde's. We talked about the Sentimental Gentleman already, and you've educated me.
As I mentioned, that's one of two venues. Barrel House and Hi-Fi Clyde's are the two venues that have full food service.
Yeah.
So you can definitely, if you're looking for a place to eat and catch music at the same time, those are the two spots you want to put in your schedule where you can get a bite to eat and catch some amazing music.
What do you think is the chances that Sierra shows up at Hi-Fi Clyde's on, random Wednesday night at 9 o'clock?
I would say greater than 50%.
Really?
Well, I think if she's going to be in town too, she's got the same potential to sit in with Billy or have Billy involved with her. I mean, she's a huge name and she's not
At Clyde's.
she's not that new into stardom where I think she would still
That's why
she'd still get off on something
because I
like
can see
this.
that.
Yeah,
I can see her
that's a great
showing
idea.
up.
Yeah, it could absolutely happen. And IBMA this is the Bluegrass Super Bowl. This is everything, and they've got such a stacked lineup that there's probably going to be a ton of musicians in town that aren't actually part of IBMA but want to be here because it's the professional industry event for bluegrass.
Definitely. You're exactly
Booking
right.
agents and merchandising and all the aspects, tour bus companies. I mean, you're going to get everybody involved here. So there's going to be a lot of musicians just roaming the hotel, roaming the stages, roaming the streets that aren't even scheduled that you may end up seeing play too. So
Amanda Cook Band, we haven't talked about her yet. She's a legendary band leader. Great bluegrass, has been around and played festivals all over the place for years.
she's featured in last month's issue of Bluegrass Unlimited.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
she's on the cover.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
At High Five Clouds in Chattanooga. on a Wednesday.
And we won't be there.
I can't come. I can't make it.
Oh, man. All right. Finishing up with Songbirds. They start out with George Jackson and Brad Colander.
Man, that would be which we talked about them already, right?
Yep.
That would be, Songbirds would be a killer place to see Mason play.
Yes.
It'd be a great place to see all of them play.
Yeah.
But
another one where you don't have to leave if you don't want to.
yeah.
It's going to be a good one.
And then it's funny, you got Carolyn Owens kind of closing that out. She's the one who starts it off and closes it out.
Yeah.
It was a Carolyn Owens sandwich we got going on. At least for that part of the Ramble.
Tuesday open to a Wednesday close.
Yeah.
That's a pretty full 48 hours.
It's a pretty big day. It's a pretty big couple of days.
So then Thursday, this is where we're getting the big local focus, correct?
That's right. Thursday is the Chattanooga Ramble edition. So Thursday is also the
Awards night.
Mm-hmm. So there's not really much going on as far as a Ramble. There's not really very many shows going on. And the only real show is going to see the local bands play. So this is kind of the local band's shot to get in front of some, industry people who are not going to be at the award ceremony or who are curious about what Chattanooga bands are. So I'm excited. Every one of the people that are local, I know very well and are fantastic musicians. I guess we'll just start from the top there. 7 o'clock.
Yeah, Owen Sanders and family.
Yep. Owen Saunders is a unreal fiddle player. He's kind of a legendary guy who has just been around bluegrass for a long, long time. And he's one of the more entertaining people I know, one of the greater fiddle players who knows a ton about playing the fiddle. And he's brought both of his kids up playing and his brother plays, so that he's bringing his whole family to come up and play. So that's going to be really cool. I'm excited to see Owen play. Especially seeing him at the Comedy Catch will be cool too, because he's hilarious.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, Owen's hilarious. And it's just
So
listening to him
appropriate for
talk, because he's slow talking and his demeanor, everything about him is great. And so go check Owen Saunders out. You'll be excited. If you know who Balder Saunders is too, that's his brother. He's coming up and he'll be there as well. 8 o'clock at the Choo Choo is Connor Valestra too. Connor Valestra is a multi-instrumentalist that's from here in Chattanooga, and he plays guitar sometimes for bands like the Price Sisters, and he has a band called the Chattanooga Dogs, and he plays everywhere. He's a backup musician who plays with everybody. He's one of the ETSU kids. He came from here and went to ETSU, and I can't say enough positive things about him. He's an unreal musician in all aspects of everything he does. So
Wow.
really excited that he's a part of this, especially the local edition, the local version.
That's cool.
You know Connor?
I don't. Yeah.
He's great. I could go on and on about him. I've known him since he was a kid, so.
Well, I'm going to have to check him out.
Yeah,
I assume
yeah.
he's got some YouTube stuff too.
Yeah,
Probably.
he's all over the place.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check him out.
And he plays in town quite a bit too.
Okay.
The 9 o'clock band is a band called Low Ground, and they're from, I can't remember if they're from South Carolina or Florida. They're one they were like me, they were like the backup bands for the Ramble. And so when they had this room for these stages, we contacted some of the backup people got first. And then after we went through the backup people, we started going through Chattanooga folks. So these guys are actually able to make it. So really excited, really cool setup. I've seen them play as a duo and as a trio. So it'll be interesting to see how they show up. So that'll be a good one to see. That's Comedy Catch at 9 o'clock. 7 o'clock, Nick Chandler Delivered. That's another band they were an IBMA band. I think they're from, and I hate to even say, honestly, I can't remember exactly where. I want to say North Florida, but I could be completely wrong about that. So I'll just
consult with Google.
I'll just say, go check out Nick Chandler Delivered. They also I think they have a Tuesday spot as well. I think they're in the same boat as us. So that'd be a good band to go see. 8 o'clock is Landon Fitzpatrick Band.
These guys are awesome.
Great band, fantastic band.
Landon played with Ralph Stanley too for 4 years, or 3.5 years, 4 years. Mm-hmm. And if you can play banjo in a Ralph Stanley band, do I need to say more?
Yeah.
Come on, that's a pretty high bar.
Yeah.
If Ralph Stanley II wants you to play banjo for him.
They just released a new song, fishing song. I can't remember the title off the top of my head, but it's go check it out. Let us know over at T. Shaw's Progressive Bluegrass
That's
on
right.
YouTube, and let us know if we're wrong.
He's definitely traditional, but man, traditional, hard driving, fast ass bluegrass, good stuff.
Yeah, and he swaps back and forth too between Scruggs style and clawhammer, which is pretty cool and rare for banjo players.
Eb
Fiddle
Saunders
player is Eb Saunders,
Yep.
which you and I talked a little bit about last week's episode. But Eb Saunders is a 16-year-old fiddle player who, he may be 17 now, but he's unreal. I mean, he's just, more and more people need to know about Eb Saunders.
Very special.
Yeah, so that whole Landon Fitzpatrick band is going to be great. I'm excited to see that. I will definitely see that because we're playing
Right
right after them at 9 o'clock.
Randy Steele and High Cold Wind, as a reminder.
Yeah, it's going to be fun night. That night we'll have Brad Clark playing guitar, and that's going to be the first time we've done Gate 11. But after being on that stage the other day, I really am pumped about being there. Yeah. I think one of the cool things is both of those shows will be fun to bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
And if you're from Chattanooga, you're going to see a bunch of people you know there on Thursday night because it's just going to be a big old hometown get down.
Hometown get down. Now, there's something going on after that? Are we allowed to talk about that at this point?
Yeah, I think so.
This will be released next Wednesday.
Yeah, I think so, surely.
What do you got going on after that?
So there's multiple different...
Because that hasn't been released, that schedule, I don't think. Has it? The showcase, late night show?
I don't really think it's not like a schedule that gets released. Like you go walk around the hotel room and you see flyers up that say we're having a showcase in room 220 at so-and-so and so-and-so, right?
Okay.
So one of the ones that we're playing at 11 with Restring Appalachia was the ones who booked us for that one. Restring Appalachia is a fantastic charity that's been... If you're a bluegrass fan and you're on social media, you've probably seen them because I think every single bluegrass musician has talked about their mission, which is basically like helping people who have flood problems, disaster, fires, any of those things. They've lost their instruments. Get instruments back into those people's hands, basically free of charge. Pretty neat thing. It started out at Hurricane Helene in Asheville. But we're playing that, and it's in the hotel, and I don't really know the time. Or I know we're playing at 11, but I don't know exactly where yet. So keep a lookout. There's going to be a bunch of those unofficial showcases going on all through the hotels. I'm excited. I'm all for it. I'm going to try to get on as many as I can.
And that wraps up the Ramble.
I'd say that's pretty ridiculous. Thank you so much for joining me again today. We just reviewed the Bluegrass Ramble, September 16th, 17th, and 18th in Chattanooga. You can buy individual tickets, I believe, about $30 a night plus fees. You can buy all 3 nights, $60 plus fees, $55 plus fees. Best bargain in bluegrass anywhere.
or you could be a Billy Strings or Billy Strings and Brian Sutton. But boy, howdy, I feel like whether you're in that show or out of that show, you are catching the best bluegrass in the world. This has been a semi-unexpected episode with Randy co-hosting today. It's been an honor to have him co-host. First time I've had this circumstance. And, of course, it's the first time IBMA is coming to Chattanooga. So what we're going to do actually next week, because all my episodes have been so IBMA relevant, I'm having Thomas Castle back from the Woodbox Heroes, and, of course, Thomas Castle solo. He's going to be probably, I'm hoping to have this episode out just in a few days, maybe as early as Friday of this week or potentially Monday, the 15th. It just depends on how fast I can get it edited and up. We're going to talk about some of the business conference and the innards of the IBMA, the non-music performances, and in addition, a professional's perspective of attending the IBMA, both in the past and the current. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a little shorter than the norm because I'm doing double episodes probably next week or this week, next week, and then I'm going to take the Wednesday after IBMA. I believe it's Wednesday the 24th. Going to take that week off. Going to have a bye week. Since called an audible, we're going football terms. Going to have a bye week. And then we're going to come back. And then Wednesday the 17th, Randy and I are essentially going to continue this conversation, but we're going to talk about the main stage on September 19th and the 20th. And, of course, the closing ceremonies starting at 11 o'clock Saturday night, hosted by Mountain Grass Unit and special guests. Your guess is as good as any. Going to have a lot of fun talking about that. And, of course, next week or next episode with Thomas Castle. So I appreciate you sticking around. I hope you enjoyed what you heard. I would really, really, really appreciate if you hang around for just a minute longer and catch a message from our sponsor and come back in a few days where we continue T. Shaw's Progressive Bluegrass and the IBMA theme. Thanks so much.
It's a big purchase, it's a big deal. Trevor Shaw knows exactly how you feel for refinance or a new home. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan.
Hello, I'm Trevor Shaw. I'm not just a bluegrass aficionado. I'm a bluegrass aficionado that's a mortgage loan officer at Chat Mortgage in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'd be honored for the opportunity to help you get your residential mortgage loan or refinance anywhere in Tennessee, Georgia, or Colorado. From veterans using their hard-earned benefits to first-time home buyers needing down payment assistance to retirees finally getting the home they've always dreamed of. Call or text me today at 864-50-T-SHAW. That's 864-50-T-SHAW.
It's a big purchase, it's a big deal. Trevor Shaw knows exactly how you feel for refinance or a new home. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan. Trevor Shaw will help you get your loan.
Chat Mortgage is powered by Alameda Mortgage Corporation, NMLS number 271603. Chat Mortgage is located at 6650 East Brainerd Road, Suite 208 in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Phone number 423-591-9801. Trevor Shaw, NMLS number 92938.